morning to you. Well, afternoon now. From the heart of London, West London, Knightsbridge to be exact. I am literally a stone's throw away from Harrods, and we're just going to get straight on with the show. We've got a fantastic flying display, well, a fly past to bring you, commemorating the Platinum Jubilee here with Her Majesty the Queen. And isn't it a shame that her husband wasn't here to one more year? He needed just one more year to celebrate that with her. But hey, it is what it is, and we wish her and all her family the very best for today. The fly past is literally going to come straight past us here. We're on top of the Rembrandt, as you can see, bottom right hand side of your screen. I'm here with Gary, who was here with me the last time we were here for the RAF fly past. He just told me, I gave him a sticker, and he said, I've got another sticker that you gave me. It's one of them big blue ones. Do you remember them? Yeah, so here we are, and going to give you a shot of the skyline of London right now. A lot different than what we're used to. London Heathrow is that away. We've got aircraft going into London City as well as possibly a few overflies as well. We're expecting the fly past around about 1 o'clock, 1300 hours. Currently, I think they've got the guards doing their horsey things and all that kind of stuff. We've got a helicopter up there, and yeah. Well, let's just get on with the show. Hello, everybody. Hope you're doing well. Okay. It's not a changing of the guard, is it? It's the horse parade or whatever it might be. But there we go. So there's the famous Harrods chimney. Quite what they. It's probably from the olden days, isn't it? They probably don't use that chimney anymore. Probably for baking from the bakery, maybe back in the old days of the of Harrods. Off in the distance there we have the Shard, which is an amazing achievement. Great when you fly over it as well at night when you're on approach to London Heathrow. They're on 09s at the moment. Now you hear that deep groan of that police chopper, which is just above, so sort of overseeing proceedings. Her Majesty's Buckingham Palace is literally right behind that block of flats there. Pretty typical for British, for Big Jet TV, I have to say. If it's not a lamppost or a tree, it's a sodding great big block of flats. But there you go, it is what it is. So other London City, the city skyline there, and of course, here we are in West London. Beautiful architecture. Just to my left here is the, I think it's the, is it the Natural History Museum? Is that the Natural History Museum there? The Victoria and Albert Museum right here, folks. Great places to visit. And I think the Natural History is the one further down, isn't it? Yeah, where they usually have the ice rink down there. It's a little bit further down there. And that's heading out of London down that way. Yeah, Victoria and Albert Museum right there. Steeped in history, of course. Some nice air conditioning units. If you're into your air conditioning units, nice display of them right there. What you got? What you got? What?
City. City.
I'm missing it. I'm missing it. Oh, here we go. London City on approach. Thanks, mate. Should be around about there, isn't it? Is that an Embraer? I think the pilots for London City have to be specially trained for the approach pattern into London City, especially from this angle, because it becomes very, very steep all of a sudden. The last mile or so is pretty steep. Is that gear down? Look, it's gear down, isn't it? Wow. Big shout out to the Red Arrows who liked our tweet this morning. And we have, we've also got the Typhoon, the black one that we've, Blackjack I think it is, that we've shot quite a few times. We've filmed, caught quite a few times at Coningsby. And of course, don't forget, we've got, maybe, I don't know if they're leading the pack today, but Battle of Britain Memorial flight with the Lancaster Spitfires and Hurricane. Whether the DC-3 is flying, I'm not sure, but good time to sort of like remember all those folks who fought in all the wars on our behalf, especially those young lads back in there, back in the day, back in the war, back in the 1940s, in very primitive aircraft, very advanced, I have to say, for back then. You know, some of the equipment that they used, you know, H2S, you know, the navigation equipment and range finding equipment, all that kind of stuff. Very advanced for its time, and of course it was being updated literally on a monthly basis, and of course they had to use very special secret words, and I had one. The different types of Pathfinder lights that they dropped, you know, the flares that they dropped to indicate the direction. But they had like a cigar, I think, was one of the pieces of equipment. I think that was maybe the rear turret early warning fighter detection equipment that they had on the back of the Lancasters of I think, was it 405 Squadron? Okay, Emirates 380 to my left. Okay, got a little one off in the distance there. No interviews, no interviews. No. Oh, I mean, he's caught by a bit of a... Of course, the Pathfinder Force were the force that was used for marking the targets. Don't like to talk about war, obviously, you know, during times like this, but of course you just need to recognise the bravery of these young lads, and they were young, average age of sort of like 21, I think, of the bomber crews. Young lads. I mean, I think Gibson was a mere sprog, you know, leading the 617 Squadron. 617 Squadron, of course, still active today at RAF Marham, as it was then back at Scampton, where they originated. And of course, let's not forget our amazing fighter pilots as well from back in the day, using what was then very advanced equipment, the Spitfire. When that came on stream, it basically won us the air war for the Battle of Britain. Hurricanes as well, but the Hurricanes were more adept at going after bombers, whereas the Spitfires took care of the ME-109s, ME-110s as well. You know, the fast-moving aircraft. 109s were, and the Focke-Wulf FW-190 as well, which was a highly advanced German fighter. But we won it at the end of the day. And of course, one of the big things that we need to remember as well is the British engineering Rolls-Royce Merlin engine, multiple variants of it. I think it was the double X, which powered most of the Lancasters. Later on the Halifax using the radial engine, the Halifax 3, earlier variants using the Rolls-Royce engine. And we have got, of course, helicopters, the Red Arrows, some pretty, okay, Lynx helicopters being one of those. Is there what we got there approaching from the East GP? Looks like KLM to me. Is it? Yeah, that will be behind me, mate. Yeah. Yeah, they are. Yeah. Let me have a look and see. Oh, is that in there? No, that's something climbing out there, isn't it? What's that? Gary on lookout. Gary's my lookout. Expecting the Flypast to start around about 1 o'clock, folks. It's going to be 14 waves, I believe, and great response from yesterday's show with R2D2, with All Nippon. They themselves getting involved as well. Very happy to be back at London Heathrow, and they purposefully put on R2D2 because it was the return to service. So, you know, rather than use as a stocker 777, which we wouldn't have been bothered with, to be honest with you, but I think they did a great job by doing that. Thank you, ANA. Hoping to do some stuff with them, of course, in the oh, there she is there, look. Is that her there, climbing out there? That 350 there? Difficult to pick them up. There she is. That's a triple. Big right hand turn westbound. So yeah, anybody got a list of, do we have a list of the participating, of course it's all RAF, but apparently it's International Flight Attendant Day. Well, there we go. And a big shout out to all flight attendants around the world. I've got to say, I don't know why I didn't do it at the time, but when I flew short haul, the internal flight to Memphis from Chicago with United, the flight attendant on the Memphis bound flight on the little Embraer or whatever it was that I flew on, she was fantastic. She knew everything off by heart. She was upbeat, happy, and you know, really sort of like really good at what she did, and you could see that she was really committed to her job. Wasn't so much the case on the returning flight, whether the flight attendant, and this was one flight attendant, by the way, this is such a small aeroplane that it only requires one flight attendant, does everything, you know. whereas the one on the outbound flight was doing everything off the top of her head. She's obviously knew everything. She'd learnt everything. She'd done it properly. She read it all out well. Added a little bit of humour into it and all that kind of thing. Whereas the other one was she just read it off her phone. She might have been new, I don't know, but it was so quick. She was reading it so quick that you just couldn't understand anything she was saying, because she was reading it off of her phone, you know. So it was like, well, whatever you just said, I've got no idea. I'm sure, you know, that she's going to eventually learn it so that she can read it, you know, or not so much read it, but remember it from the top of her head and off the top of her head and do it that way. But you know, there are you know, all flight attendants work extremely hard, especially the long haul ones. I mean, even especially the short haul ones, I've got to say, because they've got to do everything in such a short amount of time, haven't they? You know, they got to get the drinks ready, they got to get the trolley ready, they got to get everything ready, they got to get up the aisle. You know, somebody wants, oh, can I have some extra ice? It's like, oh, right, okay, I've got to go back down the front end and get more ice. You know, so you know, let's definitely spare a thought for all those cabin attendants, I think is the word. Flight attendant, cabin attendant, anyway. But a very happy cabin attendant day to everybody out there who both new and experienced flight attendants. GP copy? Cornish Rider is a returning member. Limey is a new member. Welcome, Limey. You've got some new members here. If you're new, please come on and say hello. Apologies if I've missed your comments. It's always a little bit hasty when I'm starting, because I'm sort of like getting familiar with my surroundings. It's a nice old English piece of architecture there, isn't it? Yeah, that's nice, isn't it? Who's the first one that's going to say, yeah, it looks like 4 pencils, but that's, you know, looks beautiful, doesn't it? That's proper English architecture. A bit like this church here as well, which is fantastic. That's one thing you need to do if you come to London or go to any city that's got age to it, is look up, because it is pretty amazing what you see that you're missing, you know, especially London, and especially the East End of London. East End of London's right over that way, folks. But that is an amazing place to visit, the East End, because you can see quite clearly where you know, where during the war there were, you know, where literally lines of bombs have hit across the street, wiped out, you know, houses that, you know, you can see where between in the terrace of houses, you can see where maybe 1 or 2 or 3 even houses have been hit by bombs, incendiaries, or whatever it might be, and of course they've had to rebuild them, so you can really see that. And even if you go to Victoria Station, anyone who's interested in you know, the history of the war, but if you go to Victoria Station, you can see still the remnants of where an ME-110 was shot down by a Spitfire, and it crashed into the wall or down in the entrance area to Victoria Station, and you can still see the chunks that were taken out on the wall. Very interesting to see that sort of stuff. Some people might find it completely not interesting at all. Curb appeal, just had a whole load of Chinooks, Pumas, Lynx, etc. fly over him or her at Amersham. Now that's not too many million miles away, is it? So they're gathering. I'm guessing that they're gathering at the moment, these the flights. Two different types of helicopter there. One on the left, I think, is a news helicopter. The one on the right, I think, is possibly police. I think that's a police helicopter. And that one is TV. Of course, they'll have to TV HD. That's definitely yeah. I think we can safely say that that is. London City's quite busy now, isn't it? I think I might have to try that out on Flight Radar. London City approach. Microsoft Flight Sim, yeah, sorry. What did I say? Flight Simulator? Oh, did I say Flight Radar? Sorry about that. No! You know what I mean. The gaming ham, that Eurocopter is NPAS security, I'm guessing. NPAS. Bilge pump. I haven't seen bilge pump for a while. F-15s in the air show. No F-15s today because obviously they're United States Air Force. We've given them a lot of love recently, haven't we? Those folks up at RAF Lakenheath. They're getting lots of views, man. If you're watching right now and you're wondering what I'm talking about, go back in our videos and have a look at the shows that we did at RAF Lakenheath recently. We've had a couple of real humdingers recently, so check them out. Keeping an eye out because remember last time they did suddenly appear, didn't they? You can see Knightsbridge down there, folks. Very la-di-da, driving around in their Ferraris and Rolls Royces. Looks like a bit of a is that a bit of a Star Warsy type, roboty type look-alike top to that building? Is it a Dalek or I don't know? It's a droid, isn't it? It is a droid, yeah. Oh. Jordan Benson, at least 12 Tiffies on the East Coast now heading south. Have we got 12 Typhoons in the display? Or are they on exercises? Possibly. Bootleg Jack Van Dix E190. That was that E190 in from Berlin. Stephen Luscombe. London is one of the oldest continuously inhabited cities after Damascus. Blimey. Brian Vokes is a new member. Welcome, Brian. Good to see you here. Captain Ron, Lord Geeko. Will the Flypast go anywhere near Lord's Cricket Ground? Oh, that Lord's Cricket Ground. I'm just trying to think geographically. Is that one? I think that is. Isn't Lord's just over there? Isn't that Lord's there? I think that's Lord's there, isn't it? No? That's Chelsea, is it? Oh, we won't look over there. Lord's is over that way, yeah? Okay, well, yeah, they'll definitely, yeah, we'll definitely, that's Battersea over there, as you can see. Lots of redevelopment going on at Battersea. And yes, of course, with Battersea, that is, yeah, Lord's is over that door. So you will see it from the Lord's Cricket Ground, no doubt about it. Okay, we have the first of the displays, and that is the balloon of number 14 Squadron. We just follow that. He's doing very well, putting on a good display. It's actually it's quite okay, judging by the Simon Neill, Jerry, whilst you're in the slums of London, watch out for cats in gangs. Right, okay, we have a lineup, folks. Blimey, and do we have a lineup? Okay, wave 1. Get ready for this, folks. Wildcat helicopter and 2 Merlin helicopters. The Merlin is the big helicopter. That's a troop carrying helicopter. Wave 2, another Wildcat helicopter, followed by the Apache, which has a what is it? The sneaky radar capability on it. Wave 3, another Wildcat helicopter, followed by or along with 3 Merlin helicopters. Those things are going to make a proper racket, folks. So going past us. Wave 4 will be 3 Puma helicopters, followed by 3 Chinook helicopters, the twin rotor Chinook, which is just the best sound ever. I don't live too far away from army training grounds, and I play golf near some of the army training ground areas, and they use the Chinooks quite regularly there. Wave 5, get ready for this, folks. 1 Lancaster from the Battle of Britain, well, obviously the only Lancaster from the Battle of Britain Memorial Flight. 3 Spitfires with 2 Hurricanes. Wave 6, 1 Phenom and 4 Texan. I have to look up and see what they are. Wave 7, 3 Hercules. Now that's gonna sound good, man. Oh yeah, that's gonna sound real good. Hopefully these waves are quite far apart so that I can get a good shot of them. Wave 8, an Atlas and a Globemaster, the C-17 Globemaster. Wave 9, the Poseidon, which is I think the Poseidon, is that not the radar jamming, or is it high altitude command center, I think, perhaps. And rivet joint, there's your jamming equipment. Rivet joint we've seen once or twice before. At one point we believed that it may have even jammed our very own equipment, which we wouldn't be too bad about. Saw that up at RAF Mildenhall. Wave 10, Voyager. Voyager being the AAR, the air-to-air refueling tankers. Hopefully, like we saw at ILA Berlin, that will be trailing its fueling booms. I'm not sure, but a Voyager, a Lightning. How about that? A Lightning and a Typhoon. Okay, fantastic. Wave 11, Voyager, and this will be Vespina. It can be used both for refueling if needs be. Vespina, it has been used. 1 minute it could be up fueling Typhoons, the next minute it's carrying diplomats around. So that will be the one that's got the European or British livery on it. And 4 Lightnings, 4 F-35B Lightnings. I think the B variant is the Stolejet, is it not? Short takeoff landing, is it the hover capability, a bit like the old oh, what's that? Wave 12, 4 Hawks. Wave 13, 15 Typhoons. Yes, well then in that case, Jilly, we do have a significant Typhoon display coming up as well. Not a display, folks. These things are not going to be going vertical and doing all sorts of normal things that you'd expect to see in an air display. This is just a Flypast. And Wave 14, it, of course, is the Red Arrows, and they will be trailing as well, so we expect to see that, and this should be fantastic. Okay, we've got a flight overhead. Say about that. She's just passing into those clouds now. probably another KLM or a Lufthansa or something like that. Be good if if we did have cloud cover. We all love the sun, but it will just do me a big favour if we have no sun. From the point of view that it's just a better photographically. Oh, the lank! You wait till you hear those Merlin engines, and we're going to have. Is it? Lancaster bomber, ladies and gentlemen. I think that is a. I think that's the emergency helicopter, isn't it? Yeah, air ambulance. Seagull. There's a seagull. It's a new seagull jet. Go on, tapping on the window. Brilliant. It just goes to show how patriotic we are as a country if we've got that many people watching it, GP. That's fantastic. Welcome everybody, hope you're doing well. We are Big Jet TV. We're live from London. Not our usual remit, I have to be said. Normally we would be, as we were yesterday, doing our midweek show from London Heathrow or wherever it might be, from either a civil or military station. And of course at the weekends we also have a show at the weekends as well. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you fancy it. And of course we do travel overseas. Once a month we head out to Europe, and also one show a month out to the United States. Just last month we were in Memphis, Tennessee, where we caught the most amazing FedEx show, this month we're going to be in Louisville, Kentucky for UPS, and we're going to be in Brussels in a couple of weeks. And that's all with our members, of course. Of course, these guys will at some point need to go back and be refueled. Oh, I love the sound of a helicopter. Keeping an eye on the proceedings, making sure the big security deal, of course, understandably so. These folks from the security services keeping us all safe. Thank you to them as well. Skyline of London, which we can see from our vantage point in London at Heathrow, especially from the Courtyard Marriott where we were yesterday, but certainly not as up close as this. Now, with any luck, they will be approaching around about where those cranes are, and then the shot will be across this way, so we will get a full pan shot. 380 climbing out of 09. What's that? Rob Walker, many RAF fighter jets, C-130, A400M and UK A330 Voyager just off the coast of East Anglia. Wow, all formatting over there. That in itself is a huge undertaking by the teams coordinating that lineup, you know. That's pretty crazy that they have to do that. So many new members. Welcome everybody, good to see you here. Kerry B is a new member. We've got Chris Hurley also. Heart 5321, welcome back Heart 5321. And Andy M, welcome to Big Jet TV. TV help looks like a Bell 897 and the police heli looks like an Auburn H135. Both of these. As a what? Always makes it sound so official when you've got helicopters in the vicinity. Russell, who is the older man in red uniform standing next to the Queen on the balcony? Oh, okay, so she's out on the balcony, is she? Duke of Kent. I tell you what. You know, I bet you she's quite excited to see this, you know. I bet this is I'm going to be honest, I think this is probably the highlight of her day. Oh, yes, the Vulcan Shari Hellier. Of course, that's the one that we do really miss. Can you imagine if they brought the Vulcan back for just one flight? Wouldn't that be fantastic? I mean, they spent 20 odd million on this whole thing. A couple more million, what would it cost? And she's still in airworthy condition, I believe. She probably would have needed a right old checkup from the neck up. However, I'm sure they would have been able to get her in the air. Wouldn't that be fantastic? Steve Vincent, BBMF Spitfire P7350 just over Newmarket heading towards the Lancaster. Wow, this is proper exciting, isn't it? Mrs. H. Tim Bell, Lloyd Bell, Wildcats, Apaches, Merlins, Pumas, Chinooks, Lancasters, Spitfires, Hurricanes, Texans. Sorry, I missed that, my friend. San Sharma, Jerry, where was the Flypast with the 747? That was at Riyadh, I think, with the red arrows. Is that what you're talking about, possibly? Marina Halley, Didcot Twist, Russell, Joan Curry, Mark OK. Sorry folks, the comments are just going so quick. It's very hard for me to keep up at the moment. There's another, looks like a kind of Puma-y type of helicopter activity around us at the moment, folks. Solitary Union flag. Andy M's a new member. Welcome, Andy. Desupra Smack. Good day to you and a very warm welcome to Big Jet TV. Stephen Luscombe, Jeff in Mass. When will Memphis be up for viewing? This weekend, innit, Chile? Sorry, I'm missing you there, mate. Hello? Memphis is available, Jeff. Oh, okay, sorry, my apologies. Aviation Lab and Videos, John Grinham, Sir James Doig, TCC. It's why we turn in and tune in here. There we go. Gary Simford, Jane Urquhart, Liz Matthew and Terry G. Listen out for the gun salute. Well, that's going to be a little bit difficult with all this helicopter activity over the top of me. Jeffrey Pratt. There we are, the Siggy Slinger. Wow, 8,600 people watching. Welcome, everybody. You're watching Singapore 380. Blair Hinton loves London. Oh, okay, yeah. Okay, so he's gone up over the north, has he? King of the North! Andrew Foster, watching this before bed, got to work at midnight. Wow. One of the folks who works during the night, Andrew Foster, thank you very much indeed. That's a helicopter had a coat of arms on the door. John Stone is saying, that white helicopter had a coat of arms on the door, he's saying. This is right in the sort of like flight path. Okay, not long now, folks, before we EGPX BBC doing the intro to the Flypast must be imminent. It's a shame we don't have some kind of a radar that we can literally follow them, track them in from the wash. Oh right, okay. Sorry. Sorry about that. No. Barry Roberts, welcome back, Barry, as a member on Big Jet TV. Welcome, everybody. Dave Carrington, 82 gun salute. Jordan Benson, 82 gun salute from Hyde Park today. There we go. Should kind of, has it happened? Okay, we do have the line of helicopters coming in at us first, folks. And that will be Wildcat helicopter with 2 Merlin helicopters, big, juicy, troop-carrying helicopters. What's that, GP? Barry Roberts. Big Madge is a returning member. Welcome, Big Madge. Welcome back. With a star, of course. And Desupra, and we've got you. Oh, let's fly away. 737 Subfinder. Okay, so that's the. Is that the Poseidon? Is that the Poseidon that the? I think that might be the Poseidon. That's the. Yes, it is, isn't it? There's the salute. Mrs. H watching the radars line up, watching the aircraft line up on radar is amazing. Wow, this is so cool, man. procedure in it, the 82 gun salute. Okay folks, not long now. Has flight radar crashed? Chris Horsfield, first of the aircraft are inbound just over Colchester. Flight radar is down apparently, folks. Try opening it in your browser. Okay. Abbey Garvey, we believe that yes, they are carrying on down towards Heathrow, the red arrows, along with all the rest of them. Mike Wilson's got it all going on. Split screens all over the gaff. Split screen Mike, they call him. Has that got a coat of arms on it? I can't see with my old mince pies. That may be the master of ceremonies, folks. That may be the man or woman controlling the Flypast. You never know, because that's what you used to do with the old mosquitoes back in the day. Used to fly above the target. More gun salute. 82 gun salute, folks, for Her Majesty the Queen. Carl Hanlon flight radar can't cope. Craig Matthews, helicopters just coming up to Hackney. Here they come. Got them in shot. Here we go, folks. Get sharing. This is it. Wow, look at this. Can you see it, Jelly? Can you see it? Can you see it? Okay. This is going to be loud and proud, folks. Just as that happens, we have 10,000 people watching live. So this is the first wave. Well, actually, this looks like 1, 2. This looks like got quite a few waves. Wildcat helicopter, Merlin helicopters, Pumas, and possibly at the back there are the Chinooks. Here they come, folks. Okay, I'm going to cut comms, GP. Belly shot of a Chinook. Or might be actually, sorry, I might be wrong there. They might be the Merlins. That could be the Merlins. Merlins, right?
that is up front.
right over Heathrow any moment now. Yeah. Oh man, that made me feel very proud. Thank you to the RAF. And the bells. Let's leave it with the bells. Right over your house. Oh well, folks, what can we say? What a fantastic opportunity to be here. Thank you to the Rembrandt. Thank you to everybody involved in allowing us up here. We're very honoured, and thank you very much to Her Majesty the Queen for putting on that fantastic display of our might with the Royal Air Force, and of course right at the end of it with the red arrows. GP, you still copy? We are very happy to have done that. Thank you so much. Short stream. If you want to know who we are, Big Jet TV, just go check us out on YouTube. That's all you need to do. Thank you to everybody who tuned in. Hit the subscribe button if you want, and we will see you on the next show of Big Jet TV, which will be this coming Saturday, folks. So look out for us on YouTube, and we will see you then. Thank you so much. God bless you, Governor.